Hello. Where am I and why am I not there? What the freaky fuck? Oh, oh, oh. There I am. Okay. Truthfully, truth be told, supposed to stream yesterday. Forgot it was a holiday. We had lots of guests over. It was loud. You would not have been able to really hear. Also, I should explain why are my eyes tweaking out? Here's the explanation. I wear a CPAP. Last night, CPAP destroyed one of my eyes. So now it's bloodshot. It's leaking. Like, I'm like constantly crying out of it. So my model might be freaking out a lot. So here's the plan. As the title says, the next game we're gonna play on stream is Dark Souls. That's known for being very hard. I'm up for the challenge. I'm pretty sure we can do it. But we have to use voice attack. Because I, being again disabled, can't use a mouse and keyboard. Well, I can technically use a mouse. I can move a mouse and left click, but I can't right click, and I can't use WASD. So I can't use the keyboard for the majority of everything. Is my music not playing? Why? Hold on. It should be. It's not. Hold on, guys. I'll fix it. There we go. Now you should hear the music. I got the Dark Souls OST open. So hopefully, I don't know if it's too loud and I don't have headphones on to pull up in the stream and check. We'll see in post. I also, if I did it right, hold on. Did I do it right? It shouldn't be recording this either. The recording is paused, but never mind. OBS sucks ass. Anywho, today we're probably not even gonna play the game. My goal is to just get scripts made to make the game playable. And I want to show off how you make scripts to those who ask. They want to see how it's done. So we're going to do that. I'm going to first see if the game will open. Like, freaks my entire computer out. But it really freaks my computer out bad. That's not even what it looks like for me. What the fuck? I can't. Oh, this is a great start. I can't click out. Okay, hold on. Dark Souls. For the love of God. I just wanted to stay. Like, I've never had a game do this, where if I click outside of the game, it shuts the entire window. It's so weird. Like that. You know how the screen just went black? That says both my monitors just went black. I'm gonna have to not play in full screen. And just see if I can give you guys a something with experience. I mean, that should be fine. Wanted to play it in full screen, but the game was like, nope. Also, that's just what the game looks like. This is 1920 by 1080. There's no Dude, it's so annoying. Wait, hold on. Give me a second, guys. Formatting is not my strongest suit. If I turn that off, I have a game capture open. Capture a specific window. Kitty! Baby girl? Baby sister man? Baby sister move, please? Okay, I guess I'll move on, yes. Kitty, you're being funny. Oh yeah, I didn't have it on the right game. Hold on. I do that. Move the monitor back. Okay, you see it normally. Okay. That fixes that issue. Does not fix how I can show you. Hold on. Try to figure out how to best show how scripts are made because I can't just capture the window that you made scripts on because it opens other windows and you really get to see everything. But that's definitely how we're gonna fix that. I guess you guys can just look at my background. I'm fine with it. You get to see all of my icons. I don't think there's anything here I'm really ashamed of. I'll just show everything. And then I'll explain what we're gonna do. So I do this for every game I play. I have the game open. Okay? Check. We have voice chat open. We have a profile made with the name of the game that we want to play. Check. Here's how voice chat works. You have buttons on the right and top. Top is your profile select. So I can show you all the games that I have made scripts for. I have this button, and this button edits the profile. So what that does is we open up the profile directories and we can add commands, edit existing commands, or delete commands. We also organize stuff. I'll explain that in a minute. The plus is how we make new commands, or better yet, if I finish the scripts and I'm really proud of the way that they work, I can export them and put them on Discord for other people to use. I can also import commands that you guys make into here as well. So this is why I don't play games. I don't usually show this. Because programming scripts takes like about 2 hours usually. I also have a gamepad, so you can use a controller with voice attached. So certain controller buttons would do things. You can program certain mouse shortcuts that you can make it so when you left click, it does something. There's problems with that. Keyboard shortcuts, most of what we use. Well, not really. Keyboard shortcuts I do use, but not frequent. And then the voice. You say a word, it does a thing. And then if you have a script that, like a loop script that does something over and over and over and over, you can stop it with this button. So we're gonna go in the game. We're gonna try to open it. We're gonna go to, if it will let me, in the key settings. So, we have movements. 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 So, we have mov There's walk and there's run. I'm going to assume that the run is your default speed because if you like again, Dark Souls is meant for a controller. If you hold the dodge button on the controller, you run. So I assume that the ones able to run are actually like normal speed. So I actually have scripts made that do WASD for me. So I'm going to take it on Satisfactory. I'm gonna open it so you can see all the scripts I've made. And will save us a little bit of time. Right, press. Oops. I haven't muted that as my rag. Oops. Right, press. That's not what I said. Right, press. We're gonna copy to Dark Souls. And this is under the assumption that the game will take the inputs, which it might not. So this might be clueless. I know it works for Elden Ring because I have done Elden Ring before. I don't have an Elden Ring profile because that was a long time ago, and I got rid of it for I think Expedition 33, which is why I've been gone for a week. I've been playing that nonstop, trying to make videos. We almost had the prologue done. The prologue has been done since the first day I played, but getting it edited and making it to the degree I want it has taken about a week. Okay. So yeah, Dark Souls, I will not show you off that script and what it does. I'm gonna double click it. You can do that, or you can press the edit button, they both do the same thing. So here's how this works. When I say, when I press these, when I press button, when I press mouse. When I say is when you say a verbal command, it will do the following down here. When I press keys is if you want to bind this to a single key. So, like, for example, when I edit, I use Control B a lot, but I don't want to have to keep pressing Control and then B and then Control and then B because I use a on-screen keyboard to type. Let me move that so you can see it. And when you use on-screen keyboard, you hit Control, and when you hit B, the controller gets released. So I have to do it back and forth a lot. And when I'm editing, I have to do that a lot. So when I edit, I made a script that does, when I hit B, it just does Control B. So here's what this does. This is a little bit more of an advanced script. So typically, they're simpler. It will make simpler ones later on. But what this does is in the brackets, you have a bunch of words. And what it does is when I say any of those words, it gets set to a variable called direction. From there, it checks through an if statement, what word it heard, and then does the action. So if I were to say up, it would do up. If I were to say down, down, left, left. But more importantly, right is weird. Because when I say the word right, it doesn't recognize it. It recognizes the word rate. So I've changed it to rate. And then stop prevents all movement. Let's go of the run key if I'm running, etc. So that script will allow us to have that is like, okay. Where's it? That allows us to have this page pretty much done. I don't think we're ever gonna need to walk slowly, but maybe that's not the case. We'll see. This is an important one. The camera controls, not important. The lock target, very important. So, I'm gonna explain more stuff, but hear me out. Give me some time. Copy another script. Yeah. There's a script here called Freedom. And I need that. Right, press. Well, for those who are more astute, you might go, why do you need Windows S? What's that gonna do for you? How does that connect with locking on? And I'll show you. Oh, I can't show you right now. Give me a second. I need a different, I need like Satisfactory open. Okay. I have a bunch of like software here to help do stuff. But this one is one of the most important. This converts mouse movements into WASD. However, it does not erase your mouse. So if you're playing a FPS game, your camera will move when you try watching, which is extremely disorientating. This can only be used in top-down games where a mouse wheel isn't prevalent, or in a game where you have a lock-on feature, so the camera gets stuck. I have used this to play Enshrouded before, so I know it works. Right, press. So how you use it when you have it installed is you select the game. I already did that off cam, but to select the game, you simply click it, you click select game, and then you click on the window. Boom, super easy. Settings though. Here's how this software works. This can work in either. It can work in multiple ways. However, the only way that I care about is under this section, which is mouse to keyboard. You can also convert a mouse into a controller joystick. And this is what this will do. So up will translate to W, down to S, right to D, left to A. How WASD works, okay? If I left click while in this mode, it will press the P key. I am going to be binding the dodge button to P. So that way my dodges will be a little bit more accurate. I'll still have to use my voice to attack though. So there will be an element of timing involved. Also the element of me dodging properly is a thing. But what we want our script to actually do is we want it to first press the lock on key and then pause for a few seconds and do the appropriate command. So I'm trying to open this. There we go. I also don't even know if I want this command to be called that. We might call it to we might see if lock on is intelligible enough to be registered. I believe the lock on key is O. It could be 0, but that doesn't make sense to me. I think it's just O. I'm going to move up, and then I'm going to do it under pause. I should explain how this works. On the left, you have buttons. Key press, so you can add like this key is pressed. Mouse is where you can add like move mouse here or click mouse. It's how I do like right mouse presses. how you can scroll in and out to zoom. Pause is what we need though. Pause, you add a pause, set the exact value. They have a default value of 0.2. They have specific pre-made pauses, which I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using half a second. That probably will be enough. I will see. This has to be tweaked in game. We're going to try changing the trigger phrase to something else. I not what I meant. Can't see. My eye hurts so bad. Okay, so apply, so it's saved to the profile. We hit done, so we can use the profile. I'm going to minimize the keyboard temporarily. So we'll click here, lockdown. Hmm. Give me a second to swallow. Lockdown. Okay, I think it works. Maybe. I'll have to test in the game. It's definitely doing something. But I kind of thought doing the right would make it switch things, but I don't know. Locked on. Stop. Locked on. Locked on. I also don't know if I'm entirely happy with that command. But now we can move on from this page. Because it is working. We need our equipments. So that's pretty. I think that'll be easy. Attack and heavy. This is gonna be the tricky guy. Because first of all, give me a second. I want to change this to P. I'm gonna click in the window so I don't miss the. Okay. So hopefully that will work. Using an item is E. That's amazing. Because I typically just do a simple script that is the word use in the ET. I have that in other games. So I'll just copy and paste it. The left weapon actions are weird to me. It's shift and tab. Why? Switching from one to two hand is left alt. Okay. I think there will word for that as well. Maybe a double hand. Sorry, to do the word attack. I know how the word attack works. But if you do attack, if you wanted to do a small attack chain or a big attack chain. Maybe I can do attack small or attack big. I also don't know the exact timings of things. If I had a right mouse, I could bind like right mouse to either H or U. We also could just change Dodge back to the way it was and make a Dodge script and just press the spacebar. But I really want that to be like as precise as I can get it. Okay, let's think. First things first, I should make the item management screen. Really should do that. Um, okay, I'm gonna edit this to make this actually needs to be released P. As silly as that sounds. Turn it off, we hit the P key. So I'm gonna carry over, use, and run. So they're here. Then I'm back to Satisfactory. Satisfactory is just the game I have the most amount of scripts on. So I can just. Oh yeah, we don't have a dodge. Yeah, dodge I think is a double tap of P. Or a jump, sorry. I meant jump. Because on a controller, you hold B and then you double tap it to jump. So I assume we'll probably need that. Right, press. I'll have to change it. Copy to Dark Souls. I hate I hate scroll bars so much. I need to run in the years. Right, press. I've been live for 38 minutes. Holy crap. Right, press. I'm trying to think. Because I feel like we might want step as well, because I believe it's used for like the menu management. Right, press. Okay, so use is just correct. Step up, down, left, right. That's fine. Run needs to be modified and bounce needs to be modified. But then want this to be I can't right click, so I can't duplicate. Okay, did that. And then we need a pause. Pause space. I really wish I had a script that just did auto canceling. I meant to hit pause and I hit press. And we're gonna try a point two. That might be too fast. Sometimes in games, if you're doing this where it's like super robotic, like it's like basically micro perfect, if a command is too fast, it's something a human cannot do, it just won't do the thing. We're hoping that is some serious progress. I'm probably gonna make four scripts to do the items because I want to have the bottom item, the right hand or weapon, shield on left, and then spell on top. I think that makes more sense to me. Which I could technically group those four words together in one command to save on command space. Well, you don't have command space, but if you consolidate things like Step is doing, or just the up down left right top, then you have it's more organized. Takes up less room. You can see things better. Okay. VCF and R. First of all, why those buttons? That is one of the weirdest button combinations. Again, game is not meant for keyboard, but traditionally you would do IJ, H, and K. That's traditionally what you do. Well, whatever. We'll deal with it. I could make it one command. I'm debating if I should make it one command or not. Because I would just copy this, change the variable name because variable names carry over between scripts. So that could be severely problematic. They have to change. I also, while I'm remembering it, I want to add some stuff to stop because I have a we're gonna need menu scripts that like hold down the arrow keys. So I would love to have stop just kind of do the same thing as well. Again, this is why, because someone asked, like, why does it take so long for you to, like, get into a game? This is why. I try to do this, by the way, off cam, but it's not very exciting. But some people wanted to see how it works, so here you go. It's basically a lot of experimenting, doing things that you think will work, testing them to make sure they work, because sometimes they don't. But also sometimes it's just because you're dumb. I don't mean that as an insult to anyone, I mean that as me talking to myself. Sometimes I'm just dumb and I program things incorrectly. Also, this really isn't programming. It's like very basic, elementary level programming. It's just stuff you learn on Scratch, if anyone knows what Scratch is. It's Scratch is what they taught us. It's how they taught us um, introductory programming. And then we moved on to Python. Then we went to Java. Then we went to C Sharp, C++, bunch of other stuff in there. Did some Raspberry Pi stuff for a little bit. That wasn't fun. I'm not a fan of Raspberry Pi. But it's also possible that I just didn't get involved with it enough or understand the beauty of a Raspberry Pi to really enjoy it. So I think we have to do this. Spell is up. That's our spell. Imagine it's F. Okay. I think we're going to wait, press. I don't have a right click button. Oh, I really wish I had that. Okay. I actually want it so badly. I want it so bad. Hold on. Wait, press. I'm gonna copy this. So that I have it, and then I will erase it when the scripts are all made, and we know the game works. Because you want as few scripts as possible to prevent voice recognition confusion. Like you don't want the game to get confused at what you're saying, and then it does something like what it just did, where it heard confused as used and switched the profile. Okay. I press let's duplicate it, so we're gonna modify it. Because we only need 4 words. Okay, that one. To try to debate. I think I wanted to just be in the way of the key settings. So I'll type like item next. I know that item works. I've used that word before. Spell, I don't know about. Spell will be a fun little test. Oh, God damn it. I'm not. No, it's really annoying. Okay. This would be shield. What else is in your left hand in Dark Souls? Yeah, shields and talismans. I don't think you can do the pyromancy hand in your left hand. That has to be on the right. I'm gonna call it shield. Now here's the really embarrassing part. Can I spell shield? They say I before E except after C. But sometimes that does not work. It worked in that case, sometimes it doesn't. And that's why I hate the English language. Okay, another one. I think weapon is just the best word here. Okay, so we've done that, and then we need to change the name of the variable. So what's the name for this variable? No, what's the dead word? Stuff. How about stuff? I think stuff is a good word, actually. Perfect. Awesome. But now we're gonna have to change all of these, as well as kind of erase everything. It's honestly so annoying that I might erase the entire loop, or the entire if statement, and just show you how we make if statements. Technically, this is an if else if statement, but still. I actually could explain the fundamentals on how an if statement and loops work, but I feel like if you're watching this, I don't know. So you're on the other, and you're going to advanced. This is where you get some of the good stuff, and then we need to begin a single condition. There's other, like, you can have more than one condition. We're doing a text variable. I did not copy the word staff, but that should be okay. I see the option. Share disconnected, so I gotta wait a few seconds. Okay. Oh yeah, and it just table equals. So if the value stuff equals the word, um, we'll do the opposite of what it is. We'll do weapon first. Weapon? How did we get sweep? Oh, lock on, lock on. That may be a problem with the word weapon. We will see. Okay, so here's how if statements work. You have a variable. The variable has the value. In this case, the value depends on the word that I say. If it's one of those top four words, those are the four values we can have. So an if statement compares the value to something. So the value stuff, whatever word I say, if it equals weapon, it will do the thing. Otherwise, it will skip the thing. So I'll better show that off in a second. So to better show it off, we need a. Oh, my thing's in the way. Yeah, my keyboard's in the way for sure. How do we do it? This signal. This is so annoying. But I'm probably gonna stop streaming soon. I just want to show this off. So this is where you would put like the name of the token. So we would take stuff, and then it would equal the next word, which is shield. So the way it would work is the variable gets assigned to the value I say, and it checks, does the word equal weapon? If so, press D. Otherwise, go on to the next word. Does does the value equal shield? Yes, press C. If not, continue. Does it equal item? If yes, press F. If not, press R. And the reason why the last one doesn't need to be compared is because we only have four options. If it's not the first three, it can only be the last one. So the last one is just else. You don't need else ifs, you just need else for the last one. But I hope that made sense. I'm going to continue this, doing all the scripts, and we'll probably do Dark Souls on Saturday. I don't know, Friday or Saturday maybe. Because I really want to finish Expedition 33 so I can get those videos out. And the reason why I do Expedition 33, why I record that and don't stream it, was there has been roughly about 30 hours that have been me trying to do something over and over and over when it's been extremely boring. You're not gonna want to watch it. So with a game like that, I record it, I edit out the boring bits to show you the story, anything that happens that's funny. It's a game I really much enjoy and I want to get back to playing. So we'll see. And then we're gonna get to this. This will be the next game that we stream. It'll be fun. But I want to say goodbye for now, chat. Goodbye. It was a very short stream, I know. It was like an hour. It was an hour, I know, I know. It should have been longer, I know. But trust me, you're not gonna want to sit there and watch me slowly type everything to pain in the ass. I'm doing this for your sake, I promise. But that's how I play games. I use voice attack. So, now you guys know. I should do a short on it, you're right. I should make a short to demonstrate kind of how stuff works. But that'll be for later. Bye, chat. Bye bye.